Today's world is revolutionized by the technology of mankind, resulting in the formation of the biggest machines that you ever imagine. Let's join in to discuss the biggest machines of mankind. The number one is Bagger 293. The Bagger 293 used to be known as the Manntechkraft RB 293, which is a lot less appealing as a name. You won't have too many jokes about the 293 when you see one as this excavator isn't just huge, it's also the heaviest machine ever made. It was built in 1995 and is currently deployed to a brown coal mine near Hambach, Germany. Its job is to remove what miners call overburden, which is basically undesirable material that sits on top of desired material. In this case coal, the overburden in this mine must quake in. It boots because the Bagger 293 is almost 315 feet tall and 740 feet long, powered by a 16.56 megawatt power supply. Its bucket wheel is about 70 feet in diameter. It's made up of 18 buckets each with a volume of almost 530 cubic feet. With all this power and scale, it can move 8.5 million cubic feet of soil every day, which comes out to almost 219,000 tons. This machine isn't terribly hard to operate either, considering its size. It is manned by a crew of just 5 people. Le Tourneau L2350, the biggest earth mover. Le Tourneau L2350 is another monster machine and one that photos cannot do justice to. This is, according to the Guinness World Records, the biggest earth mover ever built. It can lift earth and other things to incredible heights and has a load capacity of around 80 tons. That's something like 30 cars. Its tires are gargantuan, standing at 13 feet tall and 5 feet wide. Its bucket is also massive, capable of holding the same as 5 standard dump trucks. All this weight is powered by a 16-cylinder 65-liter diesel engine that puts out around 2,300 horsepower. That power needs some serious fueling too. The tank on this beast holds nearly 4,000 liters of diesel. It's massive in every possible way. Bagger 288, the world's second heaviest land vehicle. Bagger 288 is one of the heaviest land vehicles in the world, weighing in at an impressive 13,500 tons. It cost a whopping $100 million to build and was designed to remove overburden and help with the excavation of coal. It can manage around 240,000 tons of coal a day, which says something about how impressive a machine it is. It has been superseded as the heaviest land vehicle by Bagger 293, which weighs 14,200 tons, but is no less impressive. Tyson crane. The Tyson gantry crane is one of the largest cranes in the world and holds a Guinness World Record for sheer lifting power. In fact, it holds 3 titles for the first, second, and third heaviest lifts in the world. These are 20,133 metric tons, 17,100 metric tons, and 14,000 tons. It is used at the Yantai Raffle shipyard in the Shandong province in China. The Tyson was built to install very heavy integrated modules on a vessel's hull and often works on semi-submersibles in the drilling sector. Its advancements made the construction of these vessels more efficient and a shorter project time overall. Besides the Guinness World Record, it also earned the spotlight on new technology from the Offshore Technology Conference in 2008. At the same conference, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers awarded the Tyson the Woelfel Best Mechanical Engineering Achievement Award. Curious to watch more inspiring videos? Hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell to see the latest videos like this. Overburden conveyor bridge F60. Not impressed by the list so far? How about a massive bridge? The F60, also known as Manntechkraft, is the largest movable technical industrial machine in the world. Essentially, it is an enormous conveyor belt that is used to transport overburden, waste, during coal mining. The F60 is an impressive structure and also the longest man-made vehicle ever made. It's also one of the heaviest, weighing in at 13,600 metric tons. There are 5 of these massive overburden bridges in existence, and some are still in use today. P and H4100 XPC electric rope shovel. Electric rope shovels, also called power shovels, are machines that are used at mines to excavate material and remove overburden with a bucket that's controlled by winches and steel ropes. It's a technology that was commonly used before modern hydraulic design became more prevalent, but some companies still build them, and the largest still in production is the P and H4100 XPC. It's made by Komatsu for surface mines around the world, and it measures 49 feet, or over 15 meters long, 47 feet, or 14 meters wide, and 48 feet, or 14.7 meters tall, marketed as a low-cost option for mines that are working with a tight profit margin. It's designed to stay in one place while depositing the material it picks up into crusher conveyor systems or ultra-class haul trucks to do this. It's able to cut at a height of up to 55 feet, or almost 17 meters, with a radius of up to 79 feet or 24 meters, and can dump material with its door open at a height of up to 31 feet or 9.5 meters, with a bucket capacity of up to 88 cubic yards or 67 cubic meters. It may not be quite as effective as the larger hydraulic versions, but it's far more cost-effective at a list price of several $1,000,000. Sillwise Giant. The name really says it all for this ship, built in 1976. It was the longest ship ever built and also the heaviest, displacing around 657,000 tons of water. This ship was a supertanker built by Sumitomo Heavy Industries in Japan. It was designed to transport oil around the world. Though it wasn't exactly the best at it thanks to its massive size, the ship couldn't fit into the key shipping lanes of the English Channel. It used to be the longest thing in the water overall, but the Prelude Flying is a mere 30 meters longer as far as ships go though. Its size has yet to be beaten, even though the Giant isn't actually sailing anymore and was scrapped in 2010. Antonov An-225 Maria. Now let's take a moment to pour one out for the An-225 Maria. This was a strategic airlift cargo plane that could carry a maximum weight of 640 metric tons. It could do this because it was the largest airplane in existence until its destruction during the war between Russia and Ukraine, designed in the 1980s. It started off as an expansion of a plane designed to carry orbiters into the skies. It has the largest wingspan of any plane, spanning a jaw-dropping 88 meters. As for the other dimensions, it was 84 meters long and 18.1 meters tall. The An-225 holds the records for the heaviest and longest cargo items ever spent. The heaviest was 189-ton generator and assembly kit due for a gas power plant in Armenia, while the longest was a pair of wind turbines transported from China to Denmark. La Princesse. Princess in 2008 celebrations in Liverpool, England, was chosen for the unveiling of one of the largest mechanized vehicles ever made in La Princesse. It was designed by a French performance art company called La Machine, who wanted to build a giant robot spider that could walk through the streets, constructed from steel wood and complex hydraulics. It took more than a year to complete, but the result was incredible, weighing in at 37 tons. It had 50 different axes of movement, and with the aid of 16 cranes, 6 forklift trucks, 8 cherry pickers, and a crew of more than 250 people, it was able to climb up around buildings and crawl through the city at a speed of up to 2 miles per hour as a part of the performance. It was also followed by a live band and was fitted with numerous special effects, so that it was able to emit smoke, fire, rain, wind, snow, light, and sound. It's undoubtedly one of the most elaborate entertainment machines to ever be built, and one that would take incredible passion. Sparrow Gustav. Gustav, thus Fara Gustav, was possibly the most frightening weapon ever developed and holds the record for being the largest caliber rifled weapon ever deployed in combat and the heaviest mobile artillery machine ever constructed. It was to be that Nazis' war-turning weapon and was just to turn a fortune, which meant it wasn't possible for them to use it as often as they would have hoped, weighing 1,490 tons. It was transported on the back of a train car, and it was able to fire 7.7-ton shells to a distance of up to 29 miles. It was 155 feet long with a barrel length of 106 feet and took a crew of 250 people 3 days to set up once. It was in position. 14 31-inch rounds could be fired per day with a muzzle velocity of up to 2,700 feet per second, and anything that stood in its way was obliterated the only time. It was used effectively, however, during the Battle of Sevastopol against the Soviet Union, and during this mission, the Gustav successfully destroyed a munitions depot that it was hidden 98 feet beneath ground level. The weapon was eventually destroyed by German troops before the end of the Second World War to prevent it from falling into Russian hands, and luckily no one has ever felt the need to recreate such a weapon. Komatsu D575 A3 Super Dozer. D575 A3 Super Dozer was designed and constructed by Komatsu Limited, which is based in Osaka, Japan. The D575 A3 Super Dozer is often referred to as the largest production bulldozer in the world. It's the third iteration of the series that first debuted in 1989, and it's a common sight to see its surface mines across the US, Australia, and Japan. This monstrous machine weighs at least 144 tons and more in certain configurations. It's powered by a custom-designed 12-cylinder, 4-stroke water-cooled turbocharged Komatsu engine that can reduce up to 1150 horsepower because it's so huge and heavy. It has to be broken up into component pieces when being taken to a new site and packed onto as many as 8 trucks to transport it on public roads. This effort and the many millions of dollars that they cost are worth it for large mining operations, though, because this superdozer is able to move up to 90 cubic yards or 69 cubic meters of material in a single pass, something that can be increased to 125 cubic yards or 96 cubic meters with an optional blade. You can also dig to a depth of 6 feet or just over 2 meters with a single shank ripper attachment, something that makes it highly adaptable and ideal for clearing large amounts of surface material. Low-Kotric LT200. Once the material has been dug from the ground, it then needs to be crushed into smaller parts to make it possible to see which needs to be kept and refined further and which needs to be discarded. There are many different ways to do this, but one of the most adaptable and convenient is by having a mobile cone crusher. The Low-Kotric LT200 is the largest of these available and measures 51 feet or 16 meters long, 9 feet or 3 meters wide, and 11 feet or 3.4 meters tall. It weighs in at just over 35 tons, and it's able to move from place to place on a site, and it's a secondary crusher that's used to break large chunks down into manageable sizes and as well as being useful in mining. It's also often used to produce ballast for the construction of railways or asphalt for roads powered by a 415 horsepower Cat engine. It has a Nordberg HP 200 crushing unit with a 7.2-inch or 18-centimeter opening, and a conveyor belt means it can be an almost continuous operation. Large Hadron Collider. The Large Hadron Collider is the largest machine ever built, which is a bit funny because the reason it was built was to study the smallest particles in the universe, subatomic particles. It is a particle collider that first fired up on September 10, 2008. However, its conception and construction happened in waves. The LEP tunnel it sits in was completed 20 years earlier in 1988. The LHC took decades to plan and build, and the work of thousands of scientists, engineers, and technicians. New discoveries with the LHC happen all the time, as well as record-setting operations. The LHC is operated by CERN, or the European Organization for Nuclear Research. The CERN laboratory and the underground LEP tunnel are located near Geneva on the France-Switzerland border. That LHC is 27 kilometers, 16.78 miles, in circumference and buried 75 meters under the ground. The world's biggest remote-controlled robot is a Dragon. Apparently, Germany's Zollner Elektronik AG spent 6 years with a 15-man team to design the biggest remote controller robot ever. The Dragon was designed to replace the mechanical star of Germany's favorite play, Drachenstick. It stands at 4.5 meters, weighs 11 tons, and breathes fire. Terex Bucyrus RH400. It produced by the Caterpillar, the Terex Bucyrus RH400 was for a long time the largest hydraulic excavator on Earth. It was originally offered on sale in Germany in 1997 by Terex before The mining division of the company was taken over by Bucyrus in 2010, a company that itself was bought the following year with a weight of around 979 tons. It's an absolute monster that measures more than 43 feet or 13 meters long, 29 feet or just over 9 meters wide, and 32 feet or just under 10 meters tall. It's powered by 2 diesel engines which can produce up to 400 horsepower, and they're so large that they require 6 car batteries just to turn on, despite only being able to move less than 2 miles or 3 kilometers per hour. The RH400 has been proven to be incredibly effective in a record-breaking attempt that took place in Canada. One of these machines was used to move more than 900 tons of material in an hour, something that more than justifies its $11 million price tag. Bella's 75 to 710. If you're running a construction project or planning on moving large quantities of material from one place to another, you're going to need a hauling truck. But if you have substantial loads that need to be transported, then you might just require the use of the largest one ever designed, the Bella's 75 to 710, created by the Belarusian company Bellas. It's the highest payload capacity haul truck available. The vehicle itself weighs 500 tons and can carry a further 500 tons of material. It's more than 67 feet long, 32 feet wide, and 27 feet high, and its wheelbase alone is just over 26 feet across to power this gigantic vehicle. It uses a Siemens 500 drive system, which is powered by 2 MTU one-cylinder 4-stroke diesel engines, each producing 2,300 horsepower. This gives the 75 to 710 an impressive top speed of 40 miles per hour, and even when loaded on an incline of 10%, it can maintain a speed of up to 25 miles per hour. Big Muskie. The excavator ever made. This beast weighed 12.2 million kilograms and was 22 stories high. Its scooping bucket was as big as a 12-car garage, and it was created specifically to work on mines in hilly terrain. In its 22 years of service, Big Muskie removed twice the amount of earth that was moved during the construction of the Panama Canal. NASA Crawler Transporter. Unique in the world, the transport crawler was constructed in 1965 to transport the enormous Saturn V rocket from the Vehicle Assembly Building, VAB, to Launch Complex 39. Despite being around 50 years old, this entry on our list of the largest machinery remains remarkable. This massive 40-meter-long, 35-meter-wide machine weighs around 2,721 tons. It was utilized to transport NASA rockets from location to location at an astounding one of the 2 existing crawlers has traveled a total distance of 2,207 miles. That's all about today's video. If you like this video, thumbs up and share it with your family and friends to make their feeds interesting. Take care until next time with another amazing video that you must check out. Goodbye till next time.